Hello there everyone, welcome to the new video. In this video we are going to go through the folder structure of the repo we are going to follow for creating the basic network. This is not a compulsory to create the exactly same folder structures, but make sure that if you are following your own folder structure, then give the proper path in different files. So I will let you know where exactly these files are situated and how we can give the path to the different services in Docker Compose file and in other places as well. So let's jump into the Git repo. So this is the Git repo I already created. So for creating the basic network, I have taken the reference from the first network and the test network from their official documentation. We'll go through each and every file and folder. So what is the purpose of each files and what is the purpose of each folder in this repository. So just clone this repo. I will mention the URL of the URL of this repo into the description section, or you can just search this pavanadhav /basic network 2.0. So you'll get to know. Right now it's a private, but definitely I will make it as a public so that you can clone that repo. Yeah, I have opened Visual Studio. I am using it as a text editor. You can choose any text editor if you are familiar with others, or you can use this one. Actually this is the more friendly compared to the others. Again, it's my personal opinion. You can choose the text editor where you are comfortable. So I have opened one folder here on Visual Studio. Just clone that repo, just to a copy. Just clone that repo, git clone, and paste that URL. So hit enter, so you will be able to clone that all the repo. I have already cloned that repo, so not need to do it again. Yeah, this is the folder structure. So coming to the basic network 2.0, we have different type of folder and different type of files in this repository. Again, I'm explicitly mentioning I have taken the reference of first network and the test network of their official documentation. So coming to the first folder, that is the app folder. Most of the files and folders are not necessary right now for creating network or creating channels and all these things. Coming to the first folder, this is the app. Inside there are multiple JavaScript files. So right now we are not going to use this folder. This will be used when we write the API. So when we talk about the API, definitely we'll go through each and every file of this app folder. The second one is the artifact, one of the most important folder in the Fabric network. So inside there would be multiple folder again. First one is the channel, second one is the src, third one there are multiple files, that is the base.yaml, docker compose.yaml, network config.yaml, org1yaml, org2yamls. So coming to the first, that is the channel. So inside the channel, so we'll have a different configuration file. First one is the config.txt.yaml, second one is the crypto.config.yaml. These are very important files, and inside this folder only we are going to put all the genesis block, my channel.transaction block, org1 msp anchor.transaction block, and I haven't checked in these blocks into the git repo, so you will not be having these files. So we'll go through each and every file. The first one is the config. I will let you know the details about the config folder where we are defining the core.yaml file, order.yaml file, config.txt.yaml file. This is one of the most important file, core.yaml file. So when we create a network, and I will let you know what is the importance of this core.yaml file. So right now it is not necessary. So we'll go through one by one each file, but not this video. Maybe next upcoming video we'll try to cover each and every file. These are the different files. Coming to the next, that is the crypto config. So here we'll be having all the identities, certificate, public key, private keys of all the organizations. So we have two organizations right now, orderer organization, peer organization. So coming to the network structure, when we talk about the network details, so we'll have two organization and two peers in each organization. We'll have one certificate authority for each organization, and in this network creation we are going to use orderer as a raft. There would be 5 raft orderer in our network. We'll be using state database as the cows database. So we have multiple options: level database and the cows database. Cows DB enables to run the complex queries, so that's why we are using cows DB here. And one more thing I would like to explicitly mention here, that we are not using a separate CLI container for triggering these transactions, like creating the channels, joining the channels, or instantiating chain code, installing chain code, invoking the transactions, querying the transactions. Like, coming to the next part, this will be the network structure. So first organization will have 2 peers, second organization will also have 2 peers. Here is the orderer. Don't consider this transaction flow right now. So later in this video series we will be covering transaction flow as well, how it's going to happen. In the organization first, so we have one endorsing pair. In the organization 2 as well, we have one endorsing pair. In a separate video we'll be discussing about the pairs. What are the different type of pairs: endorsing pair, committing pair, what is the anchor pair and the leader pair in the Fabric network. Just right now consider these are the part of the network, and we'll have different organization, and each organization have different peers. Here I haven't mentioned the certified authority, but definitely there would be one certified authority for each organization. Coming to the repo, so for all the members in the network, so they will have crypto materials for each. So just we'll go through any one of them. So coming to the first organization, this structure will be common for all identities. First one is certified authority, second one is the membership service provider, third one is the peers, fourth one is the TLS-CA, and fifth one is the users. So each organization will have this kind of structure, and even orderer as well. So coming to the first one, that is the certified authority. So here we will have a certified authority certificate and the private key. Here we'll have in MSP folder we'll have a membership service provider material for that organization. First one is the admin cert, second one is the certified authority certificate, third one is the TLS-CA, transport layer security certificate. The next folder is the peers. So inside the peers, so we'll have we can have multiple pair in the network for that organization. In our case, organization 1 have 2 peers, so these are the 2 peers. Inside each pair we'll have a membership service provider and the TLS, transport layer security, and it's having certificate and the public key, private key. In the membership service provider we'll have same kind of structure: admin certs, CA certs, key store, sign cert, TLS-CA certs. These 2 folders are very important. That is the key store where the private key gets stored, and the sign cert, this is the certificate of this peer 0 or 1, and this is the private key of that peer 0. Okay, these are the peers. Next folder, that is the users. So we can have a multiple users here. We can bootstrap multiple users at the initial stage. So I will let you know how to create it. By default there would be admin user. So admin user will have 2 folders, MSP and TLS. So as just we saw for the peer, this will also have the same structure: admin cert, CA cert, key stores, sign cert, TLS-CA cert, and this would be the private key for this admin, organization 1 admin. And in sign certs will have the certificate of this admin identity. For user also there would be same structure, MSP and TLS. So TLS will have CA certs, client cert and client key, and these key and certificates are used for a transport layer security communication, that is a TLS communication when we enable the TLS. So MSP also have the same folder structure as we saw for the admin user. We'll have a separate video as well for this creating the crypto material. For right now, don't consider for right now it is not necessary to go deep dive. So coming to the next one, that is the SRC. So SRC will have a github.com, and in this folder we'll have our smart contracts, that is the chain code. So in Fabric 2.0 they have introduced the contract API for writing the chain code, so which support multiple smart contracts within a single chain code. We are going to cover the older way as well. So there are 2 folders here. where I have written the Fabcar smart contract with a older way and a newer way as well. So when we talk about the smart contract, we'll go through deep dive into these folders. We'll have some specific files. I will let you know later. This is the base file. So we are going to use a multiple services as I already told. So there would be 4 pairs. So this is the common part for bootstrapping the pair, starting the pair, and that's why we have created the base.yaml file where we have mentioned peer base. That is the common part for each service, peer service. Moving to the next, that is Docker Compose file. So I already told that Docker Compose file will have all the services required for creating our networks. So for 2 certified authorities, right now we are going to create only one orderer. There are total 3 orderer services in the Docker Compose file, but we are going to create with the one order right now at the initial stage. 4 CouchDB instances for the each pair, and 4 peers would be there for our network. So moving to the next, network config.yaml. Network config.yaml is a different file which will be required for writing the APIs in Node. Next one is the org1.yaml file. This is the connection profile file which will be required for writing the APIs. For org2 also there is another connection profile file. So coming to the next folder, channel artifacts. So when we create a channel, we'll talk about this channel.artifacts file. Crypto material. So in this crypto material folder, when we register and enroll any user, so that crypto material will be saved here. We'll talk about these folders later in the video, because when actually we'll be enrolling, registering users, at that time this folder, this keys, this certificate will get created, and then the crypto materials will be saved inside this folder. Fabric key value org. Again, the enrolling identity would be available in this folder, so I will let you know later that part as well. This is the .env file where we define all the environments variables. Git ignore file, app.js file. This file is used for creating the server to interact with the network, because we will be writing API later on, so we'll be using this file to create a server. Cleanup.sh file is required to clean the network, not necessary right now. Config.js, config.json, these both files are required for writing APIs. This one, create channel.sh, this shell script is required for creating the channels. We'll go to deep dive into this file as well when we talk about the channel and creation of the channel. Data generation.js, this file is required for creating the random data and adding into the network, injecting the huge data into the network. So I will let you know later. Deploy chaincode.sh, this file is most important file, because this file will have all the information about the creating the package, installing, instantiating, invoking the chain code, querying the chain code, all these things will be here. Deploy chain code, contract API.sh. So I already mentioned we are going to cover the 2 smart contracts, and for each smart contract we have a different deploy chaincode.sh script, this script file. So detail.transactions, error.transaction, log.transaction, I will let you know it later. Again, package log.json, package JSON having all the dependency for the node server is not required right now. So we are going to invoke each transaction using terminal. So writing API is not necessary at the initial stage. We will try to create first network invoke through the terminal, and later we will implement the APIs. Okay. Script details, test API.sh, upgrade chaincode.sh, these files are required later. Upgrade.chaincode is required for upgrading the chain code which already instantiated. This is the folder structure for creating our network. So maybe in the next video we are going to deep dive into each and every files, important files for this video series. That's it for this video. In case if you are facing any issue, just let me know in the comment sections. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the more update.